just the president's saving face.
You have seen that he's instructed the Department of Justice to investigate high-level Democrats who might have been linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Have you heard anything as to whether that might actually impede the release of the Department of Justice files?
Certainly, he's trying to use as many tactics as he can to deflect attention on this investigation toward him and deflect it towards Democrats or political opponents. I think in general, he's just concerned that, he has handled this so poorly. We don't know why he won't just release the files, except that it has embarrassing information about him. But certainly, he can make this all go away by releasing the files.
But you haven't heard anything about an investigation into Democrats then preventing the files from being released?
We haven't heard anything from the administration about the Epstein saga in a while. We still have an active subpoena for this administration to release the files. And that is a Democrat and Republican subpoena. The oversight chair, Jim Comer, was a part of that release and a part of that subpoena. And so the president needs to respond to that subpoena, plain and simple, and not just pick and choose what information he wants to release.
So the White House did send out a press release earlier today saying that it is Democrats who have a real problem here with the Epstein files. I just want to read you a few of the points on this press release. It says, why aren't Democrats talking about the fact that former President Bill Clinton traveled on Epstein's aircraft 26 times? Or the fact that one of Epstein's victims wrote that she saw Clinton on Epstein's island with 2 young women. It also says, why aren't Democrats talking about the long relationship and storied friendship that Larry Summers, ex-Harvard president, a prominent Democrat, had with Epstein? What do you and Democrats say to these points from Republicans from the White House?
I've said from the very beginning, I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican. I don't care how much money they had, how much power they had. Everyone should be held accountable if they're involved in these crimes or if they were aiding and abetting these crimes. And in this case, if Bill Clinton or Larry Summers or any other Democrat was engaged or involved in this behavior or in a cover-up of this behavior, then they should all be held accountable. And so I have no problem holding Democrats accountable as long as we are also holding Republicans and rich and powerful people and anyone else accountable too.
What about the accusation from the president, from the Speaker of the House as well, that this is the Democrats' game plan, that this is essentially the way that Democrats are looking to fight against Donald Trump, and that they don't have any other, let's say, wedge to get in the door?
Oh, we have plenty of other things. In Virginia last Tuesday, we had a huge victory for Democrats. And we weren't talking about Epstein on the campaign trail. We were talking about rising costs caused by the policies of this administration. And we were talking about, all the other things this administration has done to protect the rich and powerful and cut their taxes at the expense of everyday Americans. This Epstein saga is a similar sort of case where, in this case, the president is covering up for the rich and powerful and their crimes. And so in the end, I think this president who campaigned on populism and campaigned on fighting the rich and powerful is breaking that promise to the American people.
Do you have a read, Congressman, on whether there's enough Republican support in the Senate for getting these files released?
I think there's enough Republican support in the Senate. Whether or not they will break with this president is different. If they were principled, then they would actually come out and they would vote to release the files. But I would imagine that Republicans in the Senate will continue to cover up for this president and continue to hold the bag for him. But if they keep doing that, we'll see more nights like last Tuesday night in Virginia.